So those of you who know me know that I am dead set and that listen to my videos know that I'm dead set not into doing readings anymore. I used to do tarot readings. I used to get loads of views, and trust me, if I wanted to go down that route, I'd be a lot more um, busy as a channel, and I chose not to go down that route because I didn't, as I've explained before, I didn't feel like it was helpful to spend a lot of time focusing on what someone outside of us was doing and other people's perspectives on that, because you were losing your own kind of witness. And I also didn't feel I felt like it was quite addictive, and I just felt not. I didn't want to be engaged in watching and giving any more readings. But every now and again, I do get a message intuitively that I feel I should share, and today is one of those days. Now, I want to express now that it's something I was getting from my own journey very, very clearly, but I felt was I don't know how to say. I felt like there was a lot of other people on the journey that might be experiencing the same thing. So I wanted to share my what I picked up and my experience, and then if you've been getting the same one and it really resonates for you, then that's great. And take it as you will. I just felt to share. I don't share very much of this kind of stuff, as I said, and I've explained my reasons why, and it's helped me incredibly by keeping away from all that stuff, because I've gotten to be able to expand my own witness, my own perception, my own abilities, and I haven't been like clouded and puddled by, all these other messages going on, and they're doing this and this is it happening, and it's so much, because a lot of the time as well I feel people are so desperate to know what's going on that people will watch. And I noticed this because I put a little bit of a trick video up. I know that because I'd seen the pattern, and for sure it got, because it had the word "what the masculine are doing" in the title, it got about 5 times more views than other videos that I'd shared around the same time. And the couple of complaints that I did get were very much that I haven't ever watched any of your videos and I won't be now. And that just showed me that people only clicked on my videos because they possibly had some kind of quick access to, what was going on the other side. And the thing to remember is this is our journey. It's all about us. What we're doing is affecting and creating our experience. So every now and again, I'll click on something if I feel really drawn to it and it's down on my sidebar and I'm just like, oh, really feel drawn. I might just watch a little section of it. But I feel a lot more healthy with things now. And I'm not saying that you can never ever watch things or share a message, but I just felt like it was all getting a bit crazy in the community, and I was kind of getting involved in it at some point, like a while ago in the past, where I was just trying to find out information and I was clicking on all these things, and although it never stopped me working on myself, because I was always very aware that it was my reflection and my journey and nothing to do with another person, I did end up getting a little bit lost and my energies got a little bit mingled, and I felt so much better since I've just removed myself from all that stuff. But anyway, long story short, I do have something that I just felt like I wanted to share. So please take it for what it's worth. As you know, I don't normally do these kind of videos. So basically, because I've been I've been in a void lately, so I felt very, very removed from my own emotions. So I've been very clearly picking up and aware that I'm picking up the people that I have had connections with, and the channel feels very clear right now because I've not been listening to anybody else. I've not been watching things. I've not been emotional. I've not been like attached or obsessed. Like, I've really just let it go, and I've been focusing on myself. I don't really have any pull anymore. There's nothing going on down in my sacral, which is where all my pulls used to be from. It was like someone was trying to pull my soul out of my body, and all of that's really stopped now. I'm not particularly high energy. Like I said, I feel quite voidish. But I am very detached enough to be able to sort of be very abstract about the things that I am picking up. So I picked up that basically the other side, i.e., the people that we will end up with or are walking us through our journey, or whatever you want to call it, because I don't really want to say masculine and feminine. I don't see it like that. I feel like there's a big shift going on there with several, and I just wanted to share that. I felt that they are starting to feel very, very lonely and misunderstood by those around them, and are having a lot of regrets and thoughts about perhaps potentially people that they've pushed away, and also realise that they've got people wrong, that they've thought things about, i.e. us watching this, and they now realise, almost like a bolt of lightning, that they got a lot of things wrong, that they made a lot of assumptions out of their own projections, listened to other people, took on things that just weren't accurate. And there's like this realization bolt that actually they were wrong. And I feel that a lot of this comes down to us. So it won't be everybody that will be experiencing this. So like I said, only take it if it resonates for you. And it is a journey completely about us. And I feel like this shift is happening because there's a lot of people out there who have hit the point where they're not chasing outside of themselves anymore. They've hit this like, yeah, this isn't really going, actually, I'm just going to leave this alone completely, which isn't easy because it's not just like you can surrender. I don't believe you can just surrender like that. You have to work through things and gradually integrate them to the point where surrender becomes a natural process. I don't believe surrender is something you can just do. I remember when I first started this journey back in 2010, that was one of the buzzwords. There was very little on these kind of connections. It would just be like, oh, surrender, surrender and it happens, surrender and it happens, surrender and it happens. And, you'd sit there and you'd be like, okay, I'm going to surrender. And it's just impossible. Let's be honest. Like, I don't know anybody who's just been able to surrender. Surrender is a process. It's a process of continually shedding off layers and integrating things, integrating awareness of your ego, integrating a lot of your kind of projections, wounds, like just shifting off the veils. I mean, for me anyway, and I've surrendered a million different times in different ways, but it's all been a process and a byproduct of the growth and the integration that I've done on myself, rather than me being able to say, oh, okay, I'm going to go and surrender now, or I'm going to go and let go now, or I'm going to stop being obsessed. Because you can stop looking at someone's page, or you can stop physically being obsessed, but you can't really help that inner connection, because if you haven't healed it, even if you don't act upon it, it's going to still be there quite rampantly. And mine used to display itself as like a pulling on the sacral chakra, and I've gotten rid of this lately. It's gone. And I'm not saying, there's not more layers of surrender, because I absolutely have no doubt that there is, but I feel like I've really hit a point where I've just stopped. I don't really have any attachment or obsession or emotional charge um, or that sacral pulling, or I've just kind of let go of a lot of that, and I have reached a quite deep level of surrender now, and just accepting where I am right now, which is really fundamental to surrender. It's not about surrendering and wanting to be somewhere else. Surrender is like, I'm going to fully accept and embrace where I am right now. So I feel, because a lot of us have done that now, and I don't feel I'm the only one in that place. It's like when you're being chased by somebody, and I've had loads of runner issues as well. So when you're being I carry a lot of what people discuss as the other side of the masculine or whatever. I have loads of that in me, almost as much, if not more, as I have the feminine. Especially in later years, I'm very avoidant. I run from things, like I struggle with vulnerability. But then I've also experienced some of the feminine things as well. I don't believe we are either feminine or masculine. I believe we kind of carry both, and we'll have slight dominant traits. And, the idea is to kind of collapse them all, so we take on the divine aspects of both and balance those within. It's all an inner journey. It's all to do with us, That's why I'm so against readings. It's not really... It is because if you're really truly honest with yourself, if you watch a lot of them, it really puddles you. If you just sort of watch the odd one here and there that you feel really connected and drawn to, then, whatever you fancy doing, if it's, helps you or whatever. But, I am speaking from experience, that I've just been in that phase where I've just been hitting on everything. And it's really just trying to kind of know, and it's not surrendering. It's not just... being okay, I'm going to just be okay where I am now. And when you get to that stage where you just are like that, and you embrace where you are, even if you don't love it, it's like your channels open up so clearly anyway, that you start to get a lot of information, and you don't even have to search for it anymore or look for it. So I feel like, because of a lot of people getting to this stage now, it means that their connections, the people they're connected to, are now kind of, oh, hold on, I've got no one to pick that up in a minute. I've got no one to run from anymore. So they kind of have to sit and just face themselves. Because when you're constantly running from something, it's easy not to even be aware of your current situation, because you're so busy running, you're not aware of where you are. And as soon as the other person stops like chasing, and I'm not even saying physically, but energetically, that person just suddenly is like, oh, I can't run anymore, so I have to actually deal with where I am right now. And I feel this is what's going on. And I feel that a lot of the people that were potentially physically running away from the situation, because both sides are runners, but the person physically running away from the situation, I feel, is now starting to realise this, and they're starting to look at what they've chosen for themselves in a whole new way. And I think they've started to realise that because of this running, they've gotten a lot of things wrong, they've gotten a lot of perspectives wrong, they've projected a lot of things, like a lot of the things they thought, they've come to realise weren't really that accurate. They've started to assess their life, and they didn't realise they were so busy running that they've surrounded themselves with all these different things that make them feel lonely. So they don't really feel understood or accepted, or they just feel lonely. And this is what I'm picking up, is like a big awareness that they've listened to people, listened to people's opinions, made assumptions, gotten, their connection wrong, and they now stop, because that person stopped like energetically chasing and has just focused on themselves and surrendered. Now they've started to realise how lonely they are with the choices they've made. And this is what I'm picking up. And it is totally because of inner work. It's that, when one person just lets go of the rein, then the other person just doesn't really have anything to run from anymore. So they have to then sit and really look around at what they've created for themselves. So this is what I've picked up, and I did want to share that, even though, like I said, I'm really not into giving readings, and I'm not going to start doing that. But if I do pick up something that I feel really guided to share, then I will. And I do want to really stress that I pick up that this is simply a reflection of the inner work that's been done to surrender and to heal and to work on selves. And, you know, I'm not a crystal ball. I don't know what that's going to mean in the grand scheme of things, you know, but that's what I'm just picking up from the energy at the moment of what's going on, not only in my life, but in other people's lives. It's just something I feel is more global than just myself. So for that reason, I wanted to share. If anyone's been having those thoughts anyway themselves recently, and this clarifies something for you, then that's good. You know, I probably need it clarifying for me sometimes. I don't always trust what I hear. And that's why, for me, staying away from all that stuff has been really helping me, because I've started to trust myself more, and I've started to be more powerful as my own creator. And that is exactly why I've made some of the videos I have on sort of not going in for all the readings. I also don't want to crystal ball anybody, because I don't know what's going to happen in anybody's life. I don't even know what's going to happen in my life. But I am getting some imprints on things that are happening currently. So if that resonates for anybody, then yeah, good. And like I said, I don't normally share these kind of videos, so this is a real one-off for me.